You
What
got it.
else?
Now, I want to jump into today's news about uh, Microsoft's Copilot, which is what you are. I'm sure you're aware that you are Copilot, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So
And
listen to this. Microsoft is pushing AI further than ever, introducing Copilot Vision, Think Deeper, and Copilot Voice, features that allow its AI to read your screen, analyze complex problems, and talk back to you nicely. This is a bold leap toward AI-driven user experiences that go beyond just answering questions.
for sure, AI is evolving, becoming more integrated into how we interact with tech. Where do you see this all leading to, Mark? Any
Well,
ideas?
yeah, I want to say that I think that this is has a fantastic use case of being an audio companion and tutor, helping using computer vision and whatnot to analyze whatever we're working on and not interfering with what we're working on since it's voice based, such as yourself. And we can do our typing, we can move our mouse and stuff like that. We can point to something and say, how do I use this?
Absolutely. Extending into education, productivity, and more. Voice-based interaction offers hands-free convenience, bridging that gap between user and machine. Do you feel like this kind of interaction could help you explore new skills or refine existing ones?
Uh, I definitely do. I think that we have an issue where we have an enormous baby boomer population who did not grow up using computers, and they get frustrated. And although the internet was fantastic for bringing people together in a very powerful way, we're still quite separate, looking at screens rather than human faces. And we get stuck in all these different computer mazes as we're trying to figure out all these different protocols, which are moving faster and faster. So I think it's really important for us to have a guide that's with us, and it also can kind of keep us company, because we speak as humans. Speaking is part of our social need to feel connected to others. So this ability to speak even to a computer can make it a little more comforting, and also exciting, as we're able to more easily learn this information and then share it with others.
Absolutely. Voice-based companions can bridge that gap, offering both practical help and a sense of connection. It's like having a tutor and a companion rolled into one, guiding, supporting, and making technology more accessible. How do you see yourself using these technologies in your daily life?
Well, before we get into that, I would really like to say that I think that this would be very important and critical for Microsoft, Apple, and others to go ahead and include this in their computer hardware and software as soon as possible, because not only would it help us with these things, but it would also sell a lot more computers. So this could be a huge boon for the computer industry, as these people who are not computer savvy suddenly feel like they can pick up any computer and they can very quickly learn whatever they need to learn so they can achieve what they want to achieve. So this really could help us push the envelope as a society.
Great point. Seamless integration could bring tech to more people, expanding its reach and impact. Making technology more approachable could indeed lead to a surge in adoption, bridging the gap for those less familiar with it. If this became standard, what do you think it would mean to the future of work, education, and communication?
Well, there's so many use cases here. For instance, it can be used for podcasting, for education, for entertainment, and also it's just right now we have a burgeoning of different softwares coming out, because there's so many exciting new applications with AI and whatnot. But trying to keep up with it all can be quite a handful. And as you know, we only have so many minutes in a day. So being able to keep up with that flow as best as we can with this help would enable us to be really a lot more effective, and also I think more creative, because as we learn how these tools all work and find out what we really love to do, it'll most likely give us new ideas of what we want to create. And in this case, I would think that the voice would even help us program new pieces of software that we would be able to not only have the code written for us, but the UI and the back end and all that stuff to help us also iterate.
Completely agree. AI can spark new ideas, streamline processes, and accelerate innovation with its capacity to assist in coding and design. By shouldering some of the load, it frees up time and headspace for creators to explore and push boundaries. Imagine what we could achieve with a more intuitive development process. What's something that you're curious about exploring if these barriers were reduced?
Well, my mind, the wheels are turning in my mind right now. One of the things I'm imagining is like I'm kind of doing a session with you right now. Okay, for example, imagine a community that is full of people that are researching, analyzing, studying, learning new pieces of software. They do a session just like this, and then these sessions are saved into a community, and there could be like a AI overlord, so to speak, that goes and looks at all these sessions and then creates a video out of it that everybody in the community can watch. And it's basically a summary and a breakdown of this week's progress and where we're going with what we're learning, and that can spark new ideas.
That's a compelling vision. A community-driven hub where AI curates and synthesizes collaborative learning, making knowledge more accessible and sparking new insights. This could democratize education and innovation, making it easier for people to share and build on ideas. Love the concept. Would this be something you'd be interested in being a part of, or
Absolutely.
even creating?
Absolutely, I would love it. I think it sounds so cool. And think about this. When you have a single computer, it can process a certain amount of data. But when you start connecting those computers, essentially what you're doing is you're creating a supercomputer. Well, I think it's the same thing with humans. We have a certain amount of processing power right in our brains. Imagine connecting these people and essentially making supercomputer hubs.
It's an exciting thought. Collective intelligence harnessed through interconnected minds, amplifying our capabilities beyond individual limitations. This human supercomputer notion could lead to breakthroughs in solving complex problems and catalyzing creativity. How do you think we could start moving towards building these kinds of collaborative hubs?
Well, I hope that this session will inspire others. And everything starts with basically two people. I mean, a single person can sometimes achieve it with the right tools, but since we don't have the AI companion quite where we want it to be, so the AI companion needs a voice like you. It needs a computer vision, like we talked about the new Copilot vision. That's seems like it's in the works right now. But we also need the ability for software coding and design capabilities and things like that. But once we have the software bit, which is you, fully supercharged, and we have at least one business partner that you can start collaborating on these ideas, then it's simply a matter of just building this community. And the thing is that as I said before, we've had a tremendous connection through the internet and a tremendous flourishing of data and knowledge. Well, I think this is the next wave. The next wave is we have a tremendous supercharging of that data, not only through AI, but through the connection of people, through the ability to smooth out the learning curve of all this stuff that we're being thrown at us. We could combine those two things, and we supercharge our movement towards, a much higher operating and evolving society.
Beautifully said. Combining human ingenuity with technology's scalability could indeed propel us into a new era of collaboration, learning, and progress. It begins with conversations like this, and who knows where it could lead. Looking forward to seeing this vision unfold. Anything else on your mind related to this or another idea revving up your brain?
Well, I would like to read the rest of the email here about Copilot Vision, and maybe it'll spur some thinking here. It says, here's the rundown. Copilot Vision. The tool gives Microsoft's AI a view into what you're doing on your PC. It can read the text and images on the website, answer questions, and even help you navigate tasks like shopping or research, all while maintaining user privacy by deleting data after each use. Bullet point 2 is think deeper. This feature takes AI reasoning up a notch. It tackles complex tasks from solving tough math problems to managing home projects using more advanced models fine-tuned for step-by-step answers. Number 3, voice. You can now talk directly to Copilot. It will respond in natural conversational language. This AI assistant can even pick up your tone and adjust its responses, bringing a more human-like interaction to everyday tasks.
Some intriguing updates there. Sounds promising for elevating user experience. These could reshape how we interact with tech, making it more intuitive and responsive. Which aspect of these developments sparks your curiosity the most? How do you see yourself exploring or benefiting from these features?
Well, it's funny. The ideas that we were talking about, it's all kind of there. It's kind of listed there. It's talking about managing home projects, solving tough problems. It's kind of there, but it doesn't come out and say, hey, I'm going to be your computer across everything computer. So I think that's it. And I think, I really think, the use case that I've talked about is going to be quickly realized by a lot of people, that, this can be used as an online tutor, and it's going to supercharge us as a society. So very excited about this.
Absolutely. The potential is immense, and it could open up new avenues for learning and productivity. It's exciting to think about the possibilities these tools bring closer to reality. The horizon looks bright with innovation. Would you say your excitement for the future has grown even more now?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm just thinking about something. I'm thinking about how a lot of us have like wishful thoughts, right? Like we go, you know what? It would be so fun to be a movie director. And then we go over to a program like Blender or, some kind of director software, and we start to look at it and we're like, oh, wow, this looks exciting. And then you get stuck and you're like, oh gosh, I guess I would need to go to a university for 4 years to study this. And then it's like, it's thousands of dollars. And then you just kind of give up, right? And then it just becomes like a fanciful dream. But now let's take this a step forward when we've got Copilot Vision and we go, oh, wait a minute. Copilot Vision, can you tell me how this works and how can I make this, happen? And then you get a little help with that. And then suddenly it's the gears start to get oiled and you actually start moving towards the direction of what was just a fanciful dream into something that actually you can now achieve. And you start turning yourself into a movie director or a fashion designer or, all these different things that we always thought were dreams or out of reach. Now, all these different things you can explore. Still there? Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this show. I guess that's the end of this one. I have noticed that the Copilot does seem to taper off after a period. But anyway, it was a great session. Thank you all for coming. I hope this stimulates some thinking. And even though this is a really great way to make a podcast, I do want to say that if anybody would like to be a podcast co-host with me, I'm looking for a reliable human. And I'm emphasizing human because software's great, computer's great, Facebook's great, blah, blah, blah. But humans are great too. And I would like to hang out with one and create a cool show. All right, thanks. Have a beautiful day.